Hey everyone, welcome back to Weekend Warrior BBQ. My name is Mike, and today we're smoking a masterpiece. That's right, prime rib roast. We're doing it in the smoker. I'm doing it in my offset today, but I could have just as easily have done it in my Pit Boss or my charcoal grill. And right here is our prime rib roast. It's a 7-pounder, still in the cryovac. I'm gonna let this sit out at room temperature just to take a little bit of the chill off for about an hour or so while I get the fire going. For my wood choice today, we're going to be using post oak. I have a little bit of charcoal and a chimney. Once that gets rolling, it's going to go inside the firebox. And now that we have a bed of coals, 2 splits of wood, we'll let these get going. The whole purpose of these right now is just to establish a coal bed. I'm not going to be cooking for at least another hour. All right, now stick with me here. I'm making a rub. It has a little bit of coffee in there. It's not going to make your whole rib roast taste like coffee, but if you just hate coffee or you don't drink it and you don't want to go out and buy some just for this, I've got another video, which I'll show up here somewhere, where it's a more traditional salt and pepper type rub. Credit for this recipe goes to Tuffy Stone from his book, Cool Smoke. Starting off with 3 tablespoons of ground coffee, 2 tablespoons of ground black pepper, a tablespoon of light brown sugar, about a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of chipotle powder, half a teaspoon of cocoa powder. And then we're going to mix it up by hand just so I can break down these little clumps of brown sugar. But that's it, nice and easy. There you are. So now that we've got the rub done, let's take a look at the prime rib roast. So we'll take a look at the side here first. So if you've never seen one of these by chance, this would be where you get your ribeye steak. They just cut them into steaks. You see that spinalis? That's the piece everybody loves. Little layer of fat here, nice intramuscular marbling. Very thick piece of fat cap here that I'm going to trim a little bit of that off. Take a look at the side here for you to get your mouth watering. Nice marbling, very clean, and I ordered this one boneless. If you want to get a bone in, by all means, let me know what you guys think, what you prefer. I used to like bone in, now I like boneless. So they've removed the bones that would have been right here. And then usually they would tie them back on. So that's a good looking ribeye there. Let's trim a little bit of this. Come in, take a little bit of this off. I think that's pretty good. Let me just even this out a little bit. And now that we have that trimmed, the smoker, I'm about to put 2 more sticks of wood in. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Now's a great time to put on the rub. I like to put it on at least 30 minutes beforehand. And because I'm going to cook this fat cap up, for presentation purposes, I'm going to season the underside first. Now this side is nice and moist, so I'm not going to add a binder down here. And we're going to get some of our rub on here. And this will be the one time you do see me kind of rub it in. I want to pat this in a nice even layer. Okay, and now we're back to the top side. What I mean by binder, if you've never heard of that before, it's just something to help the rub stick. You could use mustard if you want, a little bit of water. I'm going to use some of this W sauce. It'll give it a little umami, not a lot. The reason I'm doing it here is I just know from experience that the rub does not stick well to this hard fat. So just a little bit on this top side. And once again, this is the side everyone's going to see when it comes out. So I want a beautiful crust. Now we'll just come in. Make it nice and pretty. See how that just sticks right to it. And that's it. So that rub mix that we made is enough for one 7-pound roast. And Now this is gonna sit, I'll take it inside where it's a little bit warmer, and this can sit at room temperature for another 30 minutes or so, and then we'll get it in the smoker. And what you're looking at here is the end of the first 2 splits that I put in. So the original bed of charcoal briquettes that I put down is basically gone, and now we're moving on to the actual wood coal bed, which is much better. So we're gonna put one here, and we'll put the other one here. And when these start to break down in about 30 to 45 minutes, we'll put in the prime rib roast. And we're gonna be tracking today's temperature with the meter. If you guys don't have one of these, check the links below. Great Christmas present for the pitmaster in your house. If you're gonna get yourself one, that would be awesome. It just makes life easy. And according to my app, I've got the second probe in right at the top. Internal temperature 37 degrees on this guy. Let's get it in the smoker. Now obviously I'm using a vertical smoker, so whatever you're using may vary a little bit. I'm going right about the center level of my smoker, right in the middle. For one, it's easier to film, but also it's just far enough away from that heat where it's a nice indirect. And I'm gonna put the thicker end towards the back. The back of my smoker is a little bit warmer than the front. And once I get this door closed, there's not much else to do here. It's one of the easiest things you can cook, really. I'm going for an internal temperature of 130 degrees Fahrenheit. That's gonna get us at a nice medium rare. I'll take it out maybe a few degrees early. We'll let it rest. I'll come back and show you that. Might show you a little bit along the way, but really I like to keep the door closed. We want to trap all of the moisture and all the different smoke and other flavors that are building up in there. So we're gonna keep her closed. We're gonna take it to about 130 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll let you know how long that takes when we get done. All right guys, 3 hours into the cook. Of course it's dark outside. I've got a little fire going to stay warm. Trying to light up the area with these really cool lights. If I can find a link, I'll put them in the description. I've got 2 of them running here, and let's see what we have here. It's 115 degrees Fahrenheit on the inside temperature, so we got 15 more degrees to go. The crust is fully set. You could see the fat starting to separate. It's looking good. She's been running between 225 and 275. Ready to put another split of wood in. So we're gonna come back when it's done and it's ready to slice. So this took 3.5 hours total in the smoker. Remember, this was a 7-pound roast. It looks very dark because of the coffee crust. I can't wait to slice into this. So right now, while it rests, I have it in a dish here to collect juices. I don't like to let it sit on the cutting board because as the juices start to leak out, it very soon overflows. So I'll keep it in here until it's ready to slice. We're gonna let it rest, like I said, about 20 minutes. I took it off when the internal temperature was 128 degrees Fahrenheit. If you like it a little more rare, take it out, 125, maybe even a little lower than that. But this is how we like it, so we'll slice it up here in a second and show you the results. I can't wait. And now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. So let me show you what I do. You don't have to do this, but on the ends, these end pieces, like if I were to cut a whole slice right here, whoever gets this, it's gonna be overwhelming. That's way too much seasoning on one piece. So what I like to do is just come and make a clean cut right there. And you got to remember the ends are always going to cook a little bit more than the center. And I'll do another clean cut right here. And these I'll use later. In fact, you can cut them into little snack size pieces, but these are reserved for the pitmaster, usually for leftovers. Okay, and now we slice. So depending on how many people you're feeding, I'm going some thicker cuts here. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. Just keep going down the line. And once the oxygen hits the meat, you'll see the red. Don't panic, you gotta trust your thermometer. And just to prove a point, I let that sit for a couple minutes. And now it's looking red, how you'd expect. Let's finish cutting this up and then I'll give it a taste. Yes, I'm in my garage right now. There's too much going on in the house to bring a camera in, so we're doing it out here. Here we go. Mmm.